Hi everyone, the goal of this video is to see if we can make a metal brake out of this $10 gate hinge from Lowe's. I need to make a half a dozen brackets out of 2-inch flat bar for a project I'm working on, but I can't use my vise because the second bend I'll need to make, the jaws on the vise are just too wide. There's probably a few different ways I might be able to bend this flat bar, but I simply want to see if I can make a metal brake out of this gate hinge I found at Lowe's and some scrap metal I have laying around. I'll start out with an old concrete stake as a leverage bar. I'll weld that on. And then I have some old channel here that I'll try to use as a material clamp. So let's get started. Now let's start out by welding this concrete stake onto the hinge as a leverage bar. You need to be careful when welding galvanized or zinc plated metal, as it puts off a poisonous gas when you weld. Okay, get it tightened down. Now let's see what kind of bend we can get out of this. That did allow us to bend the flat bar, but in the process, I did notice that the hinge pulled out slightly, so we need to address that. Now I need to turn this channel up on the end so I can achieve my second bend. Ideally, you would want a piece of angle iron here so that you could achieve bends of greater than 90 degrees. Let's make those modifications. I've cut my extensions and beveled the edge that I'll be butt welding to the hinge there. And then next I will drill holes in the back of that, which will allow me to bolt that whole hinge mechanism down to the tabletop. Okay, I have the extensions welded on to the hinge. Those holes are drilled, and now the hinge is bolted down to the tabletop so it won't slide out when I try to make a bend. Okay, I think I'm going to scrap the channel idea for now. I went ahead and cut a piece of angle iron the width of the hinge. Then I cut 2 larger pieces of angle iron and drilled holes in each of those. And I'll use this as a clamping system to hold my piece of metal I'm going to bend down to the hinge. So let's go ahead and weld these together now. Okay, the hinge is now bolted to the tabletop. We have our material clamp finished, and I have a piece of flat bar clamped in. Let's see what kind of bend we can get. Well, that didn't work out. Let's go back to the scrap pile and see if we can find some stronger metal and redesign this clamp. I'm trying to utilize only metal that I have on hand. So in going through the scrap pile, the only thing I could find that might work for us was a 1/4 inch plate. So I took my angle grinder with a cutting wheel on it and cut that up into several different pieces that we're now going to weld together, and hopefully that will be strong enough for our material clamp. Now that we have most of this 1/4" plate welded together, we're going to go ahead and tack both these ends onto the centerpiece. Okay, the material clamp is welded together. I use 1/4" plate. It's 7 inches by 2.5 inches on the base. The distance between my two bends I need to make is 1.5 inches. So I needed to make a notch in the back side of the clamp to allow me to get this all the way up to my mark to make that second bend. Okay, the material clamp is bolted in place. My piece of flat bar is clamped in, and we're going to see if we can do that second bend. Well, there we go. That's the result of our gate hinge metal bender. Let's do another bend. Let's do another. So this material clamp made this tighter bend compared to one of our tries earlier from a different clamp. Well, there's our gate hinge metal brake. Thanks for watching.